OP06 is closing in to release in the Japanese version of the game, so of course now they're starting to show all the alternate version of cards that we've already seen, but they've also started to reveal the special rares that we will have in this box. So today we're talking alternate. And let's start off with the special rares. The first one that we've got revealed is Baggy the Clown. This is from OP03 and I think this card is fantastic. Baggy's always been obsessed with treasures and this represents it very well. The next special rare that we have is Rebecca and it's also a very nice card. In the Sunflower Field with all the Tontata after they defeated Doflamingo, and this is gonna be a very nice card for anybody who plays Rebecca in OP04 because you know this card is an absolute must-have in that deck. The next one we will have is the 10 cost Big Mom from OP03 and this is fantastic. You got the castle in the back, you got sort of the Glee side of Whole Cake Island with Prometheus smiling at Big Mom and Big Mom being just jolly. I have to say I'm not that big of a fan of the original alternate art for Big Mom in that set, so this is a far better alternate art for me than the original one from the OP03 set. Next we have some leader and we start with Uta, and this is kind of bringing back the portrait style of leader alternate art that they've had in OP01, OP02 and I believe OP05, but with a bit of a twist on it because you can see this is not manga portrait, this is a more cartoony style, yet this is very pretty still and I like those very much. Now of course everybody has his favorite leaders in OP06, but we don't have all the alternate art yet, so let's just stick to what we know. And one that we do know is actually Perona, and just like Uta, it's very pretty and I'm curious to see this one in real because it's got so much effects with the little dots. You can see it in her hair even, and this is sure to render beautifully on the physical cards. And we've also had the first leader that we've ever saw revealed for the alternate art, and it's Reiju. You can see her right here. It's also a very pretty card. I mean, they do a wonderful job with those illustrations. Now bear in mind, you're probably not gonna pull them all, you're gonna have to buy them single because they are very rare, and it's a shame because they are so good looking, anybody would want to have this to their collection, let's be honest. And of course Germo66 is not done stealing the spotlight because we've also had the alternate art for Ichiji. That's the rare that we saw previously. Very cool fire effect around this fist. And of course there wasn't just a leader for Reiju, there's also an Asar that goes with that, and you can see here this beautiful alternate art of Reiju with a ton of poison effect in the back. And let's be honest, this is sure to be one of the money cards from the set for some obvious reasons. But remember, this is not all that Germa has to offer because we also have the alternate for the SR Judge that got revealed recently, and goddamn am I happy this is not my dad. I mean, could you imagine you're sleeping at night and this dude just stares at you like that? Creepy. And we've also had the alternate art for a rare of Monkey D. Luffy in red that we saw recently, and this one is just cheerful all the way. Of course it's Luffy, so it's got to be cheerful, but one that I'm very interested in is actually Shuraya because mechanically it's very interesting. It's a blocker, but when attacking and on block once per turn you can take the power value of the opponent's leader, so defensively and offensively it's gonna be very interesting. And the alternate art is very cool, so that's always nice to see, like an interesting card with an interesting alternate art, that's always a good thing. But we're not done yet because we also have Absalom as an alternate art, and I think it's okay, but I mean there was a ton more ID that you could have gone with, especially with this character. Still a cool card nonetheless. And of course when you're talking Thriller Box, you're gonna have the Thriller Box Princess as an alternate art also because it's an SR, so that's kind of an obligation. and it just makes me wonder, when are they gonna release a Kumachi character? And you cannot have all these beautiful peoples without the absolute boss of Thriller Box, Gecko Moria. You can see him right here ripping apart the shadow of Luffy, and this is definitely one of my favorites of the set. I mean, I like Moria as a character and his power is very interesting, and I'm glad that the SR makes it justice. And of course, you guys know me by now, I've kept the best for last. What's up guys, Zero from the future here. While I was editing that video, a ton of others alternate art have been revealed, so I'm just gonna include them here. And I will start by correcting myself, because this one here is gonna be the money card. This is Nami. She's very popular and the art is beautiful. She's in her Wano outfit. Of course, it's gonna be the money card. It's gonna be so popular. You can expect these cards to fetch a really high price once we get our hands on it. The next alternate art that we're gonna have is gonna be Iori playing her favorite song at the Wano festival at the closure of the Wano arc. It's a beautiful bittersweet scene for those of you who know how Wano ended, and I don't think it's gonna be as popular as Nami, but it's still a very decent card and a very pretty one at that. And of course, you cannot close Wano without the Shogun of Wano, Kozuki Momonosuke, here 20 years old, claiming the throne, sword in hand and dragon shadow in the back. And you can even spot his attendants right around here. You can see Kinemon, you can see Denjiro. It's a very dope card overall, and I bet that there's gonna be some effect in those clouds that you see there, and it's gonna be beautiful. And we now have all the alternate art for all the leaders. I've already talked about a few of them, Uta, Perona and Reiju. So let's look at the three that are left. The first one is gonna be Yamato. This is the Yamato with the double attack, and I have to say, so far this is one of my two favorites from this set. Like I say regularly, I like when a cards have an interesting playstyle. This one sure does, and the art on it is just the icing on the cake. Next we have Hody Jones, and I'm not that big of a fan of these cards, even though I think it's well done. It really portrays how Hody is twisted in his mind, but I'm overall not a big fan of the character, so this is really not one of the cards that I would hope to pull from OP06. Next is gonna be the second leader that I would be interested in. It's gonna be Moria. I like the character, I like his design, I like his skills, because it's well spot on with how his Devil Fruit works in the anime. Very interesting and very cool card. This would be one of my chase for OP06 as well. Next we're gonna have a pixelated melt pot. I'm sorry for lack of quality on this one, but this is the alternate art for Aramaki that was revealed a while ago. We'll just wait until we have a better image to show you guys. And of course, you know it, the secret rares will have alternate art. Of course, that's pretty much a given at this point. And here we have the alternate art for Sanji with his Diable Jambe. It's a very impressive card. Mechanically, it's very interesting and very powerful, but you can see here how the alternate art goes even harder on that. Definitely a card that I look forward to add to my collection. And we know those are both the wings of the captain, so of course the next alternate art that we have is gonna be for Zoro. You can see him towering over you. The pose is a bit more sober, but this is definitely also something that's gonna be of value when OP06 drops, so if you pull this, you know you're gonna get your money's worth. And of course, the absolute last card that we're gonna talk about, you know what it is. I don't really have to spell it for you, do I? Manga Rares, and it's for Zoro. It's absolutely beautiful. Of course, we know manga rares are a thing ever since OP01. We've had Shanks, we've had Ace, we've had Sabo, we've had Sniper King. We are of course gonna have the 3 manga rares from OP05 that's gonna drop soon here for the global version, and OP06 is presenting us with a manga rare for Zoro. Get hype? Zoro is a very popular character, so you can bet that this card is gonna be worth so much money. Just like Shanks, very popular also. But remember as well that you do not have to pay extra to get this. alright? If you get the regular, you can still play. This is just for collections. So take this into account when you buy your cards, and please don't ruin yourself for this. Anyway, back to past me. Of course, it's Shanks. Shanks is getting the alternate art treatment because it's an SR, so that's a given. I said it in my previous video. And to top it all off, it's an Akira Egawa art. So you know it's epic every time. And remember also that this character pops a 10k power or less on the enemy board, so we know this card is also gonna be a money card. You know it. If you pull these cards, celebrate. But there you go, guys. These are all the alternate arts that we know so far. Tell me in the comments which one is your favorite, which ones are you the most excited about, are you planning on picking up OP06? I surely hope you do. Leave me all that in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and if you're still here, that means the video was at the very least entertaining to you, so please leave a like for that Shanks. You know you have to for Shanks. And also remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss anything geek. Bye guys.